You know what, just ignore all that AMD stuff in the top corner. I messed up my recording software on this one. Proximate's developed by Australian developer Kane Maddox. Pretty sure this is their first commercial release. By that I mean it is available on Steam to purchase with money. The only other game I could find attributed to Kane Maddox is Waste Eater. Waste Eater is this little visual novel. You play as a pollution-eating mutant, and you are waiting for your death as all the pollution on Earth has been successfully eaten. And it's this wonderful piece of introspective fiction. I love the look of the game. I love the vibes it's giving off. It's only about 10 or 15 minutes long. It's free on itch.io. I got to name a bird Mike in the game, so that was all pretty cool. But let's get back to Proximate. In Proximate, you play as a contractor that has been hired by an investment firm. That investment firm has put money into the tech company Neuris. Neuris had been doing something at the bottom of the ocean, and all the investment firm knows is that they had completely lost contact with the company. They think something happened in the lab at the bottom of the ocean, and as the contractor, it is your job to go into the lab and retrieve any of the intellectual properties that the investors rightfully own from Neuris and get out of there.
Oh, and if you could just refrain from breaking anything while you're down there, that would be great. Thanks, bye.
But the investment firm doesn't want you to see what's been going on in this lab, so they are giving you these AI-assisted goggles called the Sonovisor, and you're able to explore the lab without getting any visuals of what's going on. You're just getting approximate data about what is happening in the room and what is placed in the room. Sometimes it seems fairly accurate, you know, when it says computer and it's 99% accurate, you're gonna be pretty certain that might be a computer. Sometimes it'll say ketchup right next to the torso and the head that you found, and maybe that isn't ketchup. And as you're going through the Neuris lab trying to collect the intellectual property, you're also collecting data logs, chat logs of the people that were in this lab that were working for Neuris, and just the work they were doing, the lives they were living, the relationships forming between certain characters. And that is the meat of the game, is exploring this area, getting the logs, reading the logs, and just trying to piece together what actually happened in this lab. And I really love the way that this game plays. I love the minimalism of it all. I love that the game is just text on a screen telling you what might be in front of you. And I love the range that you get in the logs that you're finding of these characters. Sometimes you're learning about the stuff Neuris was doing. The big thing that they seem to be doing is that they're trying to put AI chips into fresh corpses so that we can have a continual supply of labor from the dead bodies becoming AI-generated fucking corpse human working motherfuckers. Some of the logs are just scientists and technicians just shit-talking other people in the lab, shit-talking their job, shit-talking the work, and then right at the end asking if they want to play League of Legends tonight. And some of these also get a lot more emotional. Love stories developing between other characters, one person falling in love with the other, one person just not wanting to accept that person's love, how they're dealing with this in such a small, confined lab, completely isolated from everyone else. There's a lot of excellent writing in this game. It all feels very real. Some of these texts that are going between characters, especially the two gamer ones, feel like texts that I text my friends almost every day, shit-talking work, and then wanting to play Fortnite. And it really balances well the serious drama and the serious emotional weights that's going on with some of these characters with the lighter, funnier stuff that might be happening along with other characters. And I feel like that writing style might draw some people away. There's constant whiplash of going from serious emotional relationship issues right into, haha, fuck this other guy, let's make him eat the human. But I like the whiplash of here is some serious emotional relationship issues going on, and then here's two people just fucking around on the chat room. It just makes it feel more real. It makes it a lot more fun to sort of piece together what's going on, because it's not just this constant angst, agony, melancholy that's going on. You're always getting some sort of funny, witty shit going on in this writing. And along with the wonderful writing, Proximate also has some wonderful audio design. You have this constant dread going on with the audio. In the background, you can hear the breaths of what might be a monster, you're not quite sure. You can hear footsteps of what might be your character, what might not be your character. You can hear the sounds of water dripping. And all these sounds are just giving you this sense of dread over what might be in the other room that you can't even see what's going on, because With the AI visor, you obviously can't see what's going on, so for the people that are scared of jump scares and stuff like that, good on you, play this one, because there ain't no jump scares unless you're scared of the word dog appearing on the screen.
Oh no!
But even though there's no graphics, even though there's no visual cues in Proximate, it really does paint a wonderful picture of what this lab looks like. You're giving so much possibly accurate descripting words on what these rooms look like, what's in these rooms, what the layout of the room is, that by the end of the game, even though you can't see anything, you are able to just navigate these rooms fairly freely, and that's a really cool thing that the developer was able to pull off with a game that is essentially just a black screen. And Proximate does force you to learn the layout of this lab. You're given a map that you can open at any point pretty early on in the game, but that ability gets taken away from you once the sonar visor gets all fucked up by something, and then you're constantly just having to go back to a single computer that has a map on it, memorize the layout, and then figure out a way to get to your next destination just based off memorization of that map. Eventually the descripting words get a lot more inaccurate, you know, dog keeps popping up even though there's probably not a dog in this place.
Chip, looks like you've installed a bad update.
But again, it doesn't matter how inaccurate the visor seems to be at times because you've managed to just memorize the whole layout of the level, and that's super cool that they were able to pull that off. Proximate just does a lot of cool things, you know, you're able to download chat logs from a toilet, that's pretty cool. And then at one point in the game, you just see the word man pop up on your screen and you just hear some heavy breathing, that was pretty cool as well. If you're going into Proximate expecting a horror game, it's not this giant spook warfare type of situation in Proximate. The vibes are just dreadful, the vibes are horrifying, and that's all you really need sometimes. I really love these small independent games that just try and do something a little different, go with a specific gameplay style, go with a specific aesthetic, and really just go hard on that. In this case, it's being blind to your whole surroundings, trying to piece together the physical world you're in, the backstory of what has happened, and just the story of all these characters. And overall, it's a very well done game. It's only about an hour and a half long, doesn't overstay its welcome. It really puts together a wonderful little story about these people working in this lab. And overall, I'm very interested to see what Kane Maddox does in the future. And with all that being said, we're going to be putting Proximate as the current second best video game ever made right there. And while we're at it, we're going to be putting Waste Eater right above Gain Ground and multiple spots above Dr. Hauser and Rogue Warrior.